Hello, I see that Slipknot fan is in the chat today. I think I saw your comment from last week's stream. It's no big deal that you weren't able to make it, but glad that you were in the stream today. So that's cool. But hello. How is your weekend going today? So far, how's your weekend going today? It's only Saturday. Um, Yeah, I don't know if you watch The Last Drive-In, but my I don't know what happened to my Fire Stick. We had a storm and the power went out, and usually the Fire Stick is usually fine. And for some reason, my remote got unsynced from my Fire Stick. It didn't matter what troubleshooting I tried to do, I couldn't get it sorted. So luckily, Amazon, I'm still under warranty, so they went ahead and they're sending me a replacement. So I didn't get to watch the rest of the show, so I don't know what the second movie was. But once that's up, I'll get to be able to go back and watch that. So in the meantime, I guess I can just what do you call it? Cast Tubi or Shutter to the TV in the meantime. So not a big deal. Weekend is okay so far. That's good. Do you have any big plans? Any movies you plan to watch or anything like that? Or anything you're looking forward to? I woke up and discovered my puppy chewed up my yoga mat. I still haven't swept it up. um, I just exited the chat for a moment, thought you'd be half an hour late, LOL. Um, I've been making White Russian drinks. I've never tried one of those. They look good. Um, I've had a friend that's been trying to get me to try one since college, and I still haven't gotten around to it. Um, yeah, they sound good. I mean, the ingredients sound like stuff I would try, so I don't see why not. I'm kind of stuck on vodka cranberry cocktails. I'm one of those people. I kind of stick to what I'm familiar with, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, vodka, cherry sours, vodka tonic. I like vodkas. I wouldn't dare drink it straight. I've tried it. Nope. Not for me. Um, Popularized by that dude in The Big Lebowski. I've only seen that movie once. I know that whole line about the rug that brings the whole room together. Let me see. Trash Picture Show. Yo, Kara Pimp Tweet Ahoy. Awesome. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Move, Herschel. I'm trying to sweep. That's my puppy that ripped up the yoga mat. Trying to get that cleaned up before he rips up the other bits and makes smaller or more mess. I'm on the mobile again today. I still haven't gotten my laptop sorted. All I really need to do is just sign back into my Wi-Fi, and then I can get back around to editing the vlogs that I was working on, and then I can do the screen share for other things that I was wanting to do with live streams. So it's just me dragging my feet. Nothing really serious with the lappy. Oops. I think I hit a button while I was. Let's see, Absolute vodka with Kahlua and cream. Let me see. I would love to see Subspecies 5 in a cinema. Unfortunately, it didn't seem England is getting a cinema release. That sucks. Do you guys at least get like the digital? That way you can just like rent like the theater from home option or anything like that. I'm not sure if that's what you guys call it, like cinema at home, or I know some movies here do that. That's the first film I'm super excited to see. Um, there are a few that I was wanting to watch. I can't recall right now off the top of my head. Most of them are just digital rentals, which there's so many that I want to watch. It's just I can't shell out to watch all of them because um, I'd probably be spending well over $50. Like for example, I want to watch X. What's the other one? Pearl, the Men Menu. I mean, there's tons of other stuff out there. It's just um, I've been interested in watching that Dead Ringers TV show. So far, I've only watched the teaser trailer, which I normally don't do. I like to blind watch stuff. I saw the trailer by accident. I wanted to watch episode one. You can watch it digitally. Digitally. Okay, so that's good. You can watch it digitally. um, so that's good. I rewatched the first Dead Ringers movie just because I wanted to have a comparison against the TV show. Let me see. What else have I watched recently? I started watching that Freddie Mercury movie last night, Bohemian Rhapsody, since I wasn't able to watch the second Joe Bob movie. Did any of you guys watch the last drive-in? I did get to watch that first Don't Panic movie, which was really weird, especially that really pop songy theme song, Don't Panic. I half catch myself wanting to sing it, Don't Panic. It's so funny. It's like, how can you not panic to a song that sounds like you want to get up and dance to it? Super funny. Do you ever hit the cinemas anymore? I want to. The last movie I wanted to get out to watch was Elvis. I wanted to get out and do the dinner and a movie experience at the Alamo Draft House since they serve food and drinks. I never got around to it. Then the second one I wanted to do was John Wick, and same thing, I never got around to it. The thing that puts me off is because I don't have Uber, so I'd have to pay for the ride back and forth, then the tickets, and then usually I get at least two drinks, and then the food, which is either pizza or a burger. So with just the ride alone, it gets pricey. So I mean, those are definitely movies I would have shelled out just to get a ride out there. It's just that's usually what puts me off is in the end I'd rather just do the cinema from home and just stay here with my pets. But yeah, those are the two that I would have really considered going out for, or if a family member was willing to drop me off, and then I would have gone because it would have at least knocked the price down a little, which for Elvis, I had a family member that was willing to take me. The thing is, I wasn't feeling well, so that's, I know, excuses, excuses. um, Let me say, Don't Panic, haven't heard of it. From the way it was described, Joe Bob described it as a Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff. The movie was filmed in Mexico with an all English speaking cast, and it's really weird. Like, there's a guy who is able to see through the eyes of his possessed friend, who is his best friend is possessed by the devil. So every time his possessed friend is about to commit a murder, his eyes turn red and he can see the murder that's about to take place. So the guy that can see the murders that are about to happen, he looks demonic himself because he has these red eyes and he gets these premonitions. And it looks to me like, dude, you look like the devil. How am I supposed to know you're not doing it? But it's really funny, like not ha ha funny, but it's a weird little movie. Like there's even a love story involved, and when they said that the love interest girl has a unibrow, they were not kidding. It's like mega caterpillars. And I'm not like picking on her, but wow. I mean, I know 80s eyebrows are characteristically thick because the natural look is what was fashionable at the time. I mean, it's just one of those you have to see it things because I guess modern day we're not really used to seeing a unibrow, and it was more acceptable then at the time. I'm speculating, I don't know. But I think even then, girls at the time would take care of their unibrow. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm just stuck on the eyebrow thing. But I mean, the movie is fairly decent. The special effects, I mean, like they're practical, they're decent. I know Panic Room. Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. I think that's one of Kristen Stewart's early films before the whole Twilight thing. I wasn't really too keen on Panic Room. I used to own a copy of it. And I know when I was weaning out my video collection the first time, that's one of the first ones I let go. I just didn't care. I think one of the robbers or the burglars was Jared Leto, but I don't know the baddies in that one. They came off as total buffoons, and that's part of one of the things that let put me off about that movie. Evil Dead Rise kicked arse. Um, Happy Out. It's directed by an Irish director, Lee Corman. Um, he's done a fantastic Irish horror, Hole in the Ground. I haven't heard of that one. I'm avoiding information on the film because I like to blind watch stuff. But yeah, I've heard that people are very pleased with that one. I'm avoiding reviews and any information possible on the movie. But yeah, once that's out, I'm looking forward to watching it. Like once it's either available for digital rental or out on video. I'm from that time. We still call things video. I still refer to even just digital stuff as albums. Even though obviously vinyl still is, well, vinyl's made a comeback, but yeah, I still refer to stuff as albums. And then of course we have Slipknot saying hello, Marty. Are there any cameos or anything? Just really quick, as far as Evil Dead Rise, are there any? I mean, I know Bruce Campbell said he'll come back and do a cameo, even though last round he said he wouldn't. Other than Bruce Campbell, are there any original cast members that said that they would come back and do a cameo or anybody else? Because I would love to see somebody else come back, like the original Linda or Shelley, like somebody do like a foreshadow thing. I think that would be really cool because I think I mean I love Bruce Campbell, but I think he gets too many attentions and shout outs. I mean, I would love to see a callback for somebody else. See, my cat agrees. Yeah, don't panic. That was last night's last drive-in movie, the first one. And then, hi everyone. I've heard there's a werewolf movie where people have unibrows, which was an indicator of them being werewolves. Yeah, I think that was an anthology film. Um, darn it. In the Company of Wolves, I think. And they also had contacts. Angela Lansbury was the narrator. I think we're thinking of the same movie. I think that's the one we're thinking of. And then, of course, Slipknot says, hi back. Yo, Slipknot. um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to today. I'd like to get to some. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I think it's The Company of Wolves. I love that movie so much. I know, especially in college, I was obsessed with the that whole allegory of La Petite Championne Rouge. I know I mispronounced that slightly. My French is far from perfect. Little Red Riding Hood. Um, basically, what do you call it? It's one of those cautionary tales of warning young girls to stay away from bad men or wolves. How they're always just looking out to take advantage of young girls, obviously in this case sexually. But I was just so obsessed with just studying the evolution of, like how it's transcended into what is it? Even that Tex Avery cartoon where he's howling and whistling at Little Red. She was a cabaret singer and all this other stuff. I just thought it was awesome. Yes, Ellen Sandweiss. It's a shame I can't remember any of those actors' names. I think she had a callback in My Name is Bruce. I half wanted to say the French name. I have a Canadian copy. um, yeah, I'm not trying to be arrogant. It's just the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, I know it's called My Name is Bruce. I have so much fun with that. I would love to come back and I don't have the energy for it right now, especially because I'm not doing film reviews, but I would love to come back and do another film retrospective of like the Evil Dead series with the tie-in of My Name is Bruce and the Evil Dead TV show series. I think that would be a lot of fun. Um, which reminds me, I know Slipknot has been asking um, about my opinion on that V full car film. Marty, would you like to do the next live stream with me and we can share our thoughts on that film? I know Shudder has it available for watch. I don't know if it's on the UK Shudder, but if you have a copy, would you be down for doing that? Yeah, V 1967. Yeah, Shudder has it. I know there's a copy of it on YouTube as well. Not that I'm trying to put you on the spot. I've been meaning to ask you. It's just since you're here, that's the only reason I bring it up. If not, no worries. I can always just do a solo stream next week. Yeah, it's available on YouTube 4K. Yeah, I found it on YouTube. Shudder has a really nice copy of it as well in their full car section. I'll definitely give it a go, but we can't get Shudder in Ireland. Okay, my bad. I know you mentioned from time to time some films that are Shudder available. Okay, I'll find it. I don't know if you have access to Internet Archive. I know they might have it also. Mosfilm, Moscow Film. I think I've found some films through there also. If you have access to Internet Archive, if I can find a link, I'll send it to you there. That's how I was able to watch the Devils, which was an awesome film. If you want to do the Devils, if that one's easier for you to watch, we can discuss that one instead, and we can have a movie discussion stream next week instead. Is it PD? I'm not sure what PD means. Oh, public domain. Um, it recently got a re-release, so it may no longer be, but Internet Archives, I know sometimes they still have older copies that previously were public domain, so it might still be there, like an older copy of it. Mosfilm YouTube channel has V 1967 in 4K with English subtitles. Yeah, I know I found a copy of it on YouTube. The one I found was all grainy and it didn't look too good, but it was still on YouTube. So that Slipknot might be talking about a better copy. That's a version you should watch. Yeah, I mean, if you're up for it, Marty, we can bounce some ideas. Like, if you can't find V, then maybe we can do the Devils. But I know Slipknot has been asking for V for a while, like for a discussion on thoughts on that one. Um, I'll find it on Internet Archives. It's 100% free. I will get the link. Okay, cool. So if that's able to get sorted, we can do that next week. My showtime is always the same, which let me see, what is it in UK for you? I'm trying to remember. I think it's 8 p.m. for you over there right now, or 8:30 right now. I keep hitting the wrong one. It's not letting me hit. There we go. I used to watch Shudder on my laptop because I had a VPN that made them think I was in the UK. Okay. I've been curious about getting a VPN. Sometimes Shudder UK has movies that I want to watch and I just can't, I don't have access to them in the US. Um, yeah, I always thought that was a cool thing to have access to. Um, I'm not sure what this means or if it's something I should read out loud. Is that the link for the film? I'm guessing. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so it's the YouTube link, close the gaps. All right. So there you go, Marty. Yeah, I just I wasn't sure if I was giving out some sort of a kill switch code or something. Yeah, I know I'm being silly. Um, it doesn't hurt to be cautious. Um, but alrighty, that's probably a better copy than the YouTube one I ran across. The one I have is all old and grainy. It's all faded looking. But maybe we can try a segment like that where we can do like film suggestions if you're interested in that. Um, I know you may not always have time for it, Marty, or I can also just, when it doesn't work out, I can just do it solo. But yeah, I know Slipknot had asked us both to share our thoughts on that. So on that film, correction. A lot of people still Ireland is the UK and we have the same access to their stuff. Easy mistake to make. Just two completely different countries like US and Canada. Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that I understand. Like, and I get that people in Ireland also don't like being referred to as British. I mean, it's the same thing as calling um, an American a Canadian. We're not the same thing. That was probably a very bad example. Um, you just put that code in. I can't post a clickable link because I'm not a mod wrench here. Okay. Cold beans and cheeseburgers. Cheers, dude. Cheers, Kara. I added cheeseburgers. Okay, so I can check that out on my Shutter app later tonight. I like to do my live tweets. So if anybody wants to, I guess if anybody follows me on the Twitters, you can check out my random thoughts on that as well. And it's also just how I do my note keeping, so that way I can just have that for the stream for next week also. I mean, obviously my thoughts are going to change over time as I do the discussion with Marty if he has time, or when we get together on that. But I don't know. It's also just another way to offer interaction. I think is if anybody's ever seen the movie, or if you just enjoy my silly commentaries, because I'm not always being serious when I write things down, but um, I like to keep my page. What do you call it? As social or community orientated as possible. I like to interact. Let me see. What else do I have planned? I was recently gifted a bunch of purple heart plants. They were, sorry, those plants have a funny story. They, well, not funny, but they've traveled a lot. They were originally given to me at my previous apartment by my Thai neighbor. She was moving back to her, oh, hold on here. Just remember to close the gaps between numbers and letters when entering it into the YouTube search field. Oh, Jen wants to know when she and Kristen should try the Little Caesars corn cob crust pizza when reviewing the new Children of the Corn. I'm not sure who that's a question for. Is that a question for Slipknot? I didn't even know they had a corn crust. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure who that was a question for. I apologize. I didn't know that there was a corn pizza, uh, cornbread based pizza, I guess. But yeah, just random story. So I was originally gifted a bunch of Purple Hearts plants by a Taiwanese neighbor who lived next door to me at my old apartment. Um, I had so many that I forwarded some to my brother, and they had been with him for years. And now that I'm at my current place, I had taken some cuttings and I brought some with me. They didn't make it through the winter, so I brought some more cuttings. And if you've seen the Instagram or the Twitter photos, that's the wreath in the pot with the sweet potato plants that I had planted recently. So my brother recently decided, well, he no longer wants the purple hearts, so he gave me the lot of them. So I purchased some pots, and now I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to just make wreaths and do the purple heart bouquet with the rest of them. So I got 3 more hanging pots, and I'm just going to hang them from my patio and just leave them dangling. So I think that would look nice, especially once summer comes in. It'll kind of look like kind of like a hanging curtain of purple. I think that would look really nice. But let me see, Marty, you said that Jen and Christian were working on the Children of the Corn series. Are they going to be doing the entire series of the films? Because I know they progressively become a lot more difficult to sit through. Like sheesh, even the third one is kind of work. The first two are pretty decent. The first one's awesome. Are you guys still able to hear me? I know earlier my screen showed me that I had a connection issue, so I'm not sure if I'm still online with you guys. But yeah, as far as my plants, I know you guys are probably tired of me talking about my plants and pots. It's just that's one of my hobbies. um, Plants and crystals and incense, but you guys already know that. Um, but yeah, my pots should be arriving tomorrow, so I can do that for Solar Sunday, and I can do it on the proper day, and I can be out working in my garden. You know, mundanes call it a patio. It's a garden to me. It'll work. Oh no, did I lose you guys? Is anybody out there? You see, I see that 4 people are still in the chat. I think I'm still connected. Um, but yeah, I don't have too much planned today. Let's see, I have at least one more vlog that I need to catch up on. I need to see about getting my computer reconnected to the internet. I'm having an issue with my password, so that's been a pain in the butt. That's why I've been dragging my feet about it. What else? I just finished my morning coffee. Morning to me because I didn't officially get out of bed until noon, even though I woke up the first time around 8, but it's the weekend. Let's see. So I'm going to make some waffles. I have a painting that I want to modify. If you're on the Twitters, I posted and I showed an idea of what I want to do with that painting. Let me see, and I still have another vlog that I want to work on, as well as some video editing. I don't know if I'm going to get around to writing an article that I've been late on for quite a while. So let me see. So now I have movie homework. I need to watch V and Nocebo. So I think my weekend is sorted, other than, of course, just sweeping, mopping, and gardening, looking after the pets. Um, Let me see. Let's see what else. Oh, I still need to string some bell wreaths together. They arrived pre-strung. I just need to finish tying them off the way I like them. But yeah, pretty. Other than just working on artsy projects and having an art weekend, I really don't have too much planned, other than just plastering my rear to a seat and watching some TV. But do any of you guys have any other plans or anything else that you plan to do? Okay, now I'm starting to think, yes, that I did disconnect from the stream. I still see my counter going off. It looks like there are still 4 people in the chat. You see, I'm seeing a comment that I missed earlier. I would like to give a shout out to a British movie, Dog Soldiers 2002, werewolf themed. That's a good one. I do own a copy of that from Shout Factory with their slipcover and the poster. For me, it's maybe just a little bit too dark, but that's probably part of the look that they were going for. And maybe it's just a me thing. I feel it's a little bit slow paced, but it's a good movie. I'm surprised I missed that comment from earlier. Okay, and I think that's all of the other comments. It's not allowing me to scroll up any further. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm still connected to the stream. It looks like I'm not getting any responses. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had planned for my day today. If anyone feels so inclined, feel free to check in with me on my Twitters. I will be posting my creativity updates over there. And let me see, I can't get to my keyboard now. And that would be the retro, RETRO underscore horrors, HORRORS, obviously on Twitter. So if you want to see if I get around to doing any painting or gardening, I would be tweeting about that over the weekend. So if anybody just wants to just keep track on that, or I would also be over on the horror underscore retrospective, same as my screen name over on Instagram. And that stuff would be in my stories. And so I guess we will cut it short here for today. Oh, here we go. So I did get a hold of my, oh, okay, I have Marty saying we are still coming. Let's see if I can get a screen refresh. I can't see the comments coming through. Let me go ahead and post my stuff really quick anyway. If I can get back to my keyboard. And then I'll see if I can get that sorted. I'm not sure why it is doing that. So just allow me just a tick here while I get that, sorry, while I get that typed in, and then I'll see if I can find out what's going on. I wasn't sure why that was happening, which is why I was debating if I was not connected, but thank you for letting me know, Marty. In case you think we're ignoring you. No, it's just, I saw on my screen it said connection error. So I just wasn't sure if I got disconnected, but I still saw the timer ticking. And I saw that 4 people were still in the chat, so I wasn't sure what was going on. I'm not sure if I do a screen refresh, if that would knock me out of the stream. If so, then I guess I could just log back in, and I guess I can just try it that way. I can't talk and type at the same time. I've never acquired that ability. I envy people that can. But that's the reason for my silence. So apologies. And okay, so if that went through, I will know that I'm still connected. So that one's my Twitter. If anybody just wants to keep up with my weekend stuff that I'm doing. So just like any artsy stuff that I do, if I can get my computer sorted, I will finally finish editing my vlogs, which are definitely needing to be taken care of. And then, let me see. Okay, and I think I forgot to use the at symbol. Well, yeah. So there's the Twitter is horror, retro horrors, um, and then of course my Instagram is same as my screen name, horror underscore retrospective. Under the Instagram, um, it would just be my updates and stuff would be in the stories, unless I'm getting back to my photography work, which is why I need to log back into my computer. Try logging back in and out. Let me see if I can do that on my phone. I'm on mobile. Um, because all I see is end, and I don't want to do that. Let's see. Okay, I came back in, and thank you for the suggestion, Marty. So, yes, now I can see the comments. Let me see. It didn't give me everything. The last comment I can see was Marty saying, "Yep, we can." So I'm not sure how many comments I missed here. Yes, we can hear. We can hear you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, it's just I totally couldn't see comments. Sorry about that. Um, no, Slipknot. Jen's in New Mexico. Oh, New Mexico. My girlfriend. Jen's review from the grave. Yeah, that's totally a cool channel name. I think she should totally play that up and develop a persona around it, kind of like an Elvira thing. I mean, that's totally her choice, but I mean, I think she should totally play with it. I mean, I think that's more like a me thing. Like, I like personas, but I mean, I think Jen should totally like have fun with it. Um, not that I'm trying to push anything on her. Is New Mexico where Roswell happened? Somewhere in there. Yeah. Kara, have you always had a green finger? You get into horticulture at an early age. I had an interest when I was young. I know, I grew up around plants. My mom always had like hedges that she was planting. We would go to nurseries. I remember her buying things like snake plants, also known as mother-in-law's tongue. She would buy rose bushes. So yeah, I grew up around it, and I guess that's where my interest came from. My ex also worked at a agricultural research center, so he also had some doings with plants. Um, like experiments on different types of grasses, things like that. So he taught me a little bit as well, from some of the things that he knew, during our time together. And I think that's also like what sparked my re-interest in plants. Both of my brothers, have gardens as well, so it's a family thing. Like my mom, my brothers. Um, my eldest sister has a few plants. She's not as plant crazy as the rest of us. Um, I often make a joke because in my learning process, because every plant is different, I have to research them obviously. But I lean more towards shade plants, like partial sunlight. I don't really like most of the ones that I like, they're not full sun. I really don't know why. That's just what I naturally lean towards. But I always make the joke, especially as I'm learning about a new plant, that if you're going to gift me a plant, you're better off taking it to the cemetery because that's where it's going to wind up. um, but no, I've gotten a lot better. I have plants that I've had for years. It's usually the whenever we have a freeze that, if I don't estimate well enough and I don't cover them up well enough, or if I don't get all of them inside in time, that's usually when my plants pay the price. Okay, yeah, they're like an hour away from Roswell. What music do you like? I'm fairly eclectic. Like, I listen to a lot of binaural when I'm working. Because my job, I work at a call center. I work from home, but it's just constantly call after call after call. So, if it's just background noise, just to fill in the silence, that's usually good. On Fridays, I usually have like just regular music playing, which is why I tweet out the music from time to time just to share. But I have definitely like my own time periods that I like. Like, I like singer songwriter. I go anywhere from like the '60s up to the, mm, I want to say mid 2000s. I don't know too much about modern music right now, so I'm always willing to accept music suggestions. I mean, I love discovering new music. As far as modern music, I do like stuff like, I know Kesha isn't like too recent, but like Megan the Stallion, I like, St. Vincent. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much of like what's going on right now, but yeah, I'm always willing to accept new music suggestions. Um, but yeah, I mean, I like heavy metal, rock, pop music. I listen to just about everything. Yeah, can you see the chat? No, I wasn't able to see anything at all. Yeah, can you see our replies? Yeah, that was definitely during that blank period. Marty, can you send her a DM? Tell her she can't see us. Yeah, which is when I was eventually aware. I did, dude. No, that definitely helped. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Nice one, Marty. Maybe she has to reboot the stream. Yeah, I did have to back in and out. Yeah. Yay, science. Is that a, darn it, what is it called? Breaking Bad reference? I never finished watching that show. Can you see us now? Eventually. Yeah, I thought technology was meant to make things easier, right? We all did. Now we depend on it so much. LOL. Bloody gremlins in the stream. I know Deacon wasn't here. Isn't that the running joke? Does anyone have any natural headache cures? Um, I forget which herbs help with that. I know if you're into crystals, citrine is supposed to help with that on the forehead, and I forget, citrine and quartz are supposed to help with that. Citrine is kind of like an orangey yellow crystal. If you don't believe into that, if you don't believe in that, well, then it's just ho hum. But yeah, any better? What are your thoughts on Eddie Murphy being in a haunted house? Like, do you mean the movie Haunted House? I thought that was a lot of fun. Him to actually live in one, I would be impressed. They should turn that into a reality show. I think that would be cool. I've always played with the idea of being on a reality show, or like having my own reality show. I always thought that would be fun. Like, I think it would be a cool concept. Hello, Kara and chat. Hello and howdy. And sorry about the delay. I just made it down to this point in the chat. My music taste is a whole bipolar disorder in itself. Yeah, I'm all over the place myself too, but I love like just different things, different sounds. I mean, why not? Hi, Mystery. Mystic Mac. Wow, I can't believe I said mystery. Didn't Kesha make a song called TikTok back then, before TikTok was a TikTok law? I don't recall. I know she was in some legal issue where she was, I mean, obviously she had her reasons. I'm not getting into that. And obviously, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue it. She had every cause. But yeah, she took a break for a while. And, but yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with her songs, but I do enjoy her music. Also, Cara, thanks to you hunting for a figure and my friends, I got into the band Ghost. I love them, especially like their imagery. I love that they are performance artists, especially like their symbology. It like really resonates with myself. Like, I mean, I do a lot of that same stuff myself. I mean, shame that the doll sold out before I got a chance to get a hold of it. I totally would have put something like that on my altar. It's beautiful. But how are you enjoying their music? That's definitely someone I would venture out to watch live and show. I mean, I don't get out to too many shows, but yeah, I would definitely get out to see them. What are your thoughts on Vampire in Brooklyn? I thought that was a lot of fun. Like, as a kid, I didn't get the humor too much. It's parts of it are definitely very cheesy, and I mean, they go for like the easy gross out. But I love Angela Bassett. I think she's too good to be in an Eddie Murphy film. That's just me, but you know, like I view her as like one of those classy actors. Um, you know, she's definitely in a higher tier. You know, especially with Forrest Whitaker. Like, there's just, in my opinion, um, well, I just won't go there. That's just starting to sound snooty, but it's a good movie. I enjoy it. Like, I think it's a fun watch, especially like around Halloween time. I think that should be one of those go-to movies. Those friends had their first kid and celebrated by going to see HIM in Sweden. Hmm. I'm not sure what that conversation's about, those friends. I like the ghost song Square Hammer. See, it's another thing. Like, I'm not too up on like song titles. Like, it has to be a band that I listen to religiously. Like, even myself, like, I love Tool, but I'm not too familiar with like their song titles. Like, I know the songs and sounds, and I can follow along to a certain degree, but I just like, yeah, and like even the same thing with like their branch off Perfect Circle. What's their other branch off? Pussifer. Like, I love those. It's just I'm not good with song titles. Like older like bands, stuff I grew up with. Yeah, it's just As I've gotten older, I'm just more interested in sounds and lyrics. It's funny. Have you ever bought any items you've seen in movies, product placement? Um, no, not really. Not that I can recall. Like late night TV, I can admit to. Like those really weird commercials that you see on late night Tubi. Like, what is this weird thing? But or but I don't think I've ever gotten any like product placements that are in a movie. Like I can recognize a product placement, but no, not that I can recall. Have you ever done that or been curious about getting something that you saw in TV? What is your favorite Johnny Depp Tim Burton movie? I'm asking about the movies they collaborated on together. I love Sweeney Todd. Let me see, The Wardrobe. I love. The songs aren't bad. Like I'm not big on musicals, but I love the. Excuse me. I love even just that. What do you call it? The relationship between him and Helena Bonham. I forget her character's name, but like she's totally head over heels and he doesn't know that she's manipulating him. But then once he finds out, he lets her have it. And I'm like, how can you not see that coming? Like nobody likes being manipulated. And then the fact that she's using it for her own benefit, like she just wants to improve her shop and she wants to keep this guy close. And then once he realizes it, it's like, sod you, woman. What else? Oh, and I mean, obviously, just like the color use, the wardrobes. I like Sleepy Hollow, like especially that witch background. I've never seen the story told in that manner. I've never read the original story. Um, Let me see. I mean, obviously, everybody likes Edward Scissorhands. I think that was their first collaboration, but I lean heavily towards Sweeney Todd as like my top. I heard many people bought cheeseburgers from Burger King when Tony Stark ate one in Iron Man. Really? The That's so funny. The It wasn't in a movie, but the product gimmick I was interested in was that black squid ink burger during Halloween, and that got discontinued quickly because the obviously the ink made the buns taste a certain way. Um, but no, I'd never heard that people were interested in Burger King just because he ate one. That's so funny. I bought the same Reebok Classic sneakers that Matt Smith wore in Morbius during his dance scene. I have a copy of that movie and I still haven't watched it. I've heard people say that it wasn't that great, but I mean, I would still check it out. I mean, um, I would still watch it just to say I watched it. What those friend along with you got me into Ghost. They are big into love metal, like him and Villa. I can't. I'm wearing my glasses and I still can't see this well. Villa Volo Ghosts pageantry alone is fantastic. Yes, I love it. Like their passion plays and stuff. The stained glass-esque satanic imagery is awesome. Yes, it's beautiful. That's why I refer to it as performance art. Like it's not just regular like music or performance. Like it's not just a regular everyday show. Like I would go to one of their performances just for the show alone. I mean and then every album it's a different story of the Papa within a different phase of his life, like within his youth, his elderly, his midlife. every album it's a concept album, and it tells the story of that period of his life, which is, I mean, not getting back into my own character, but I do something very similar, and I didn't borrow that from him because I didn't understand until years later that he does that also. So I think that's very cool. But yeah, I love Ghost. I that's definitely one of those bands that I would sit down to learn more about, like their symbology and their presentation. Yeah, I think they're awesome. Like I wouldn't invest in like their pops or anything, but like that encased doll, that to me is beautiful. Like I would shell out the extra bucks for something like that, especially because it had been done up like as a Madonna. Like I would put that on my altar. Even though I don't believe in keeping idols, it's not a thing that I do, but I can see something like that up there. I bought a very expensive electric shaver, Pierce Brosnan, James Bond, used in Die Another Day. Well, it better have been worth the big bucks, which I imagine is why it was in there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't recall myself ever having used or um, been enticed to buy something that I've seen in a movie. Like, and it's not even coming close. Like, I know I had probably gone wardrobe shopping the same summer that that a film wardrober had gone shopping for the crew of that Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, the one with Jessica Biel's. Who is it? That little mousy red-haired girl. She had the pink halter top and that floral skirt. Um, I own that same exact skirt. It comes from Charlotte Russe. And that's why I say that I shopped it during that same summer, because I didn't go out and buy it after I saw it in the movie. Like I bought it during that same summer, and then watching the movie, I'm like, I know that skirt. I own that. And that's only happened to me twice. It's in a different color, but I own a t kind of like a tulle blouse that I bought from Victoria's Secret, and it was I own a black version, and a red version was shown in an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I forget which season. So I know that's an entirely different um, topic. So not like along the lines of what you were asking. Let me see. I once bought a pair of boots, and then a few months later, I saw that same pair of boots in a magazine ad. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean, to me, I think stuff like that is neat, but I'm weird like that. What is your favorite Robin Williams movie? Um, he has so many good ones. Like, I would have to Google in order to pull up a film title. Like, I like Hook. I like his dramatic roles. It's just I can't, right off the top of my head, one isn't coming to me other than like that really depressing one, What Dreams May Come, which I like the drama elements. It's not my favorite story though, but like when people say this movie will make you sad, it really does. Um, damn it. I would really have to get back to you on that. Like I'm sure if I back out of my mobile app in order to Google, I'm probably going to have that connection issue that I had earlier. Um, I mean, it's just right off the top. It's like everything that comes to me are like the kiddie movies, but it's like what I really enjoy are his dramatic roles. I mean, unless somebody can name a few and help me remember. There was one where he was in a hospital, like in a mental institution. I don't remember the name of that one. That one was really good. Um, Let me see. I'm always buying things I see in movies. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Um, I'm just always buying things in general, which I need to stop. It's a bad habit for me. Like, I don't consider myself a shopaholic. Um, it's just more a thing with me for, like, for example, like I want to organize my garden, so I got a kind of like a plant rack, and I put my plants on it, and I'm like, okay, now I want to get a plant shelf so I can get some of my plants off of the ground. I got some hanging potters, so I'm working slowly on getting my stuff off of the off of the ground, because I want to be able to use the walk space, especially so my puppy can go out and I don't want him chewing on my plants. So that's a different reasoning um, for doing that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm always shopping stuff. There's no crime in that. Top Tim Burton flicks has to be Batman Returns, Sleepy Hollow, Beetlejuice. Yes, I love Batman Returns. Like I've had it for the Catwoman character ever since that one. It's also why I discovered Michelle Pfeiffer. I had no idea who she was until then. Of course, I was a little kid, so how would I know? um, Another Tim Burton that I like is Big Fish. Like, I think that's his brightest film that he's ever done. Like, I see a lot of bright colors, pastels. It still has his dark colors in there as well. Helena, I believe, is still in that. She plays the witch. Um, don't lick my coffee cup. I use hemp oils and coconut oils in my coffee. Even though it's empty, my puppy runs up and likes to lick the cup. And like, it's harmless, but I still wanted coffee. Um, I mean, my cup's empty, but I wanted to make more coffee for later. So now I have like puppy kisses in there. Let's see. What other Tim Burton movies do I like? It's kind of, I mean, Planet of the Apes, people don't seem to like too much. I enjoyed that one. That's also the movie where he and Helena met up and they started their relationship. Um, but yeah, the original Batman is good. I love Jack Nicholson. Like, the first Batman is good. Returns is my favorite one. Um, it's hard to not think of one that isn't Tim Burton Helena, or Tim Burton Helena and Johnny Depp related. And I remember all those stories of when Tim Burton and Helena got divorced. It's like, oh no, they're gonna have to um, share custody of Johnny Depp. Hey, now the puppies want to play together. What is your favorite Steve Martin movie? The Three Amigos. I forget how that thing goes where they do their little arm thing, and it ends. That is so funny. What is the other one with Kathleen Turner? It's not called Brain Swap. What is it? But what is it at the end? It's like, into the mud, scum queen. That makes a good double feature, in my opinion. I can't remember what it's called. Brain something. I like those two. Roxanne, eh. I mean, it's an interesting Cyrano remake. Oh, I forgot to click over here. Um, People unfairly judged Morbius. It's not that bad for a vampire movie. See, I'm not familiar with like comic characters in general. I'm more like the casual viewer that they're trying to bring in. Um, so I always have to ask people, like, who is this? How do they tie in? What's the story? Um, but yeah, as a casual viewer, it's just like, that's how I watch the films. So I don't know much about this character or who they are in the universe. I haven't watched it. I've just been told that the story's long and that it drags. So, but I just don't know anything about it other than people didn't like it. Yeah, that electric shaver was amazing. Well, then that's all that matters is you got your money's worth. Good enough. Yeah, you mentioned Papa from Ghost was an influence on you. Like you review personas, the nun, the lizard woman, etc. Would you ever bring them back if you get back into film reviews, or are they too much hassle? No, I definitely want to do all of that again. Like um, it's hard to describe, but I consider them facets of myself. So like whenever, it's hard to describe, but it's kind of like whenever a person, like for example, like Deacon, like he likes to wear, I forget what he calls it, like his goblin mask, and he feels more comfortable that way. Like he feels he's more free to be himself. Um, and I'm sure he has other masks that he uses that he probably feels that he resonate with him in different ways and forms. So that's what these personas are for me. I mean, I don't, I'm not, okay, now I'm speaking on a different topic. I'm not, it's not a knock on him, but like, I don't need the personas. It's just, I consider them like different hosts of the show. So like there's Kara, and then of course there's Gloriana, who's the nun, and then there's Valdemara, who is the snake persona. So and then there are others that I've been wanting to introduce, like Persephone. Um, I mean, they all have names. I mean, which is why they're personas. Um, but yeah, I mean, like to me, they're just different hosts. Like this is who's doing the review during this era of the channel, or this is who's sitting in for today. But yeah, I definitely want to bring them back. The paint and the costuming, I'm like, the work is worth it. I mean, to me, it's fun. It's fun. And I mean, I'm glad that you guys get a kick out of it, or that it interests you. Yes, the Fisher King is awesome. Thank you for reminding me of that one. That one, I own a Criterion Blu-ray copy. I loved that, especially what was it, the subway scene where I think he's dancing his way through. Jumanji is good. Um, Mrs. Doubtfire, I love. That one's a lot of fun. As a kid, that's what got me into Aerosmith. What was it? Permanent Vacation. I love that album. Um, that became one of my favorites. And then after that, because it was obviously growing up, what was it? Eat the Rich was another one that I really liked. For Steve Martin, I'd go with The Jerk. I haven't seen that one, believe it or not. It's one that I still haven't seen, and I think it's one of those that a lot of people like. I could be wrong, but that's the impression I get. Patch Adams. No, it wasn't like a little kid hospital. Like it was one where he was a patient I think he was a patient in a mental institution. Like he was the one being treated. I can't remember the name of it. I mean, I wish I could. It was earlier in his career. But yeah, Patch Adams I've seen. That one was a good one. Flubber. I haven't seen that one in a long time. I can definitely, as an adult, see myself with some gummies sitting down and watching that. I know adults watch things so much differently than kids do, don't they? Oh gosh. Shameless plug. If you want a discount on some Delta 8, plainjane.com. And my discount code is plainj10. I earn a commission, so if you guys want to help me out. Shameless plug. Yeah, Flubber was a lot of fun. Blanche? I'm not sure what Blanche is. Let me see. It's hard for me to pick a favorite Burton movie, but probably Batman, Sweeney Todd, Beetlejuice. Yeah, Beetlejuice is a lot of fun. I've watched that one countless times over the years. I even have some Beetlejuice socks, like they're men's trouser socks, because I couldn't find any for ladies. Like that's how badly I wanted them. Which, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, socks are genderless. Socks don't have genitalia, so it doesn't matter who wears them. I'm surprised I don't have a Beetlejuice T-shirt, to tell the truth. Like, I came pretty close to doing a Beetlejuice cosplay. Let me see if I remember. I'll fish that out and I'll post it on my Twitter later today, and my Instagram. I know somebody had posted in my anonymous questions app. And if I can get my computer working, I can either do a vlog from my anonymous questions. I do drop my link randomly, so if anybody wants, and I am still putting that video together. So if anybody wants to go at getting featured, just drop your questions in there, and I'll put your question in there. Obviously, that's going to remain anonymous, but you'll know it's you. Um, but yeah, I'll drop that picture in there if I remember, on the Twitter and the Instagram if you want to get a look at my interpretation of a Beetlejuice cosplay. Um, Steve Martin's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I haven't seen that one either. Like there's a lot of 80s movies that I still haven't seen. The puppy just grabbed my hand towel. Oops. This little guy keeps me on my toes. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. You're jumping on me. Let me see. If he would have directed Nightmare Before Christmas, then that would be my favorite. See, I still enjoy it, and for some reason in my mind, even though I believe he produced it, I think, or he presented it. I know he kind of did like the Guillermo del Toro thing. I still consider it a Tim Burton film. Like it still has notes of Tim Burton on it, in my opinion. Scooch. So I mean, like in that one, I mean, what would you say? Like, it's a spiritual son of a Tim Burton film, but yeah, I still like that one. Um, Originally, when I watched it when it was first out, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't care for the movie, and then over the years, it grew on me. And I think it's just at the time I didn't understand it. Like, I was still a little kid, and then I rewatched it years later, and I'm like, hey, I like this. Yes, I loved that movie too. Like, I don't know why people hate on it. Like, I'm familiar with the original Planet of the Apes series. I'm up for a rewatch, actually. Um, I just don't get why so many people hate on it. Like, did you want it to be, and I don't recall who directed the original one, but like, did you want it to be like more true to the original Charlton Heston films? Or like, I don't get it. Like, they're called remakes for a reason. It's like somebody else's vision. Yes, The Man with Two Brains. Thank you. Yes, I like that one. Benevils. What was it? The Three Amigos and The Man with Two Brains. I think that would be a great double feature. I think that would be like a good, popcorn night. Even like it's even, I think it's even safe to sit down like with the family and watch. Like, I mean, it's like me and my kiddos. We're just, the cat, the two doggos, and the fish, but I would let them watch it. Human kiddos, sure. Who is your least favorite? Who is your favorite or least favorite vampire? Eddie Murphy as Maximilian in Vampire in Brooklyn, Johnny Depp as Barnabas Collins in Dark Shadows, Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen in Twilight. See, I hated on the Twilight films for the longest time. Like, once again, I went into it expecting a different type of movie. So when it was first out, I watched it on video and I didn't like it. Like, the story was slow, and I'm like, what's all this la-di-da romance crap? But then if you think about it, Dark Shadows was like a prime time, soap opera. And I love that. And I like the Johnny Depp Dark Shadows. Like, that is so much fun. And how can people that like the original Dark Shadows TV series like that and still like the movie, but they hate the Planet of the Apes movie versus the remake, or you know what I mean? No, I like the Johnny Depp Dark Shadows. The Robert Pattinson, after I went back and rewatched the first movie, I'm like, you know what, this isn't so bad. The soundtrack I like better. But out of those three, I would probably tier them as in order. I would have to do Johnny Depp, Eddie Murphy, and then Pattinson at the way bottom. And that's just as far as like vampire category slash story. And that's also just because that's also just how much time it took me to adjust to that Robert Pattinson. Like, I rewatched Twilight years later, and yeah, I'll confess, I own the Twilight films now, but at the time I was like, never, never, never would I rewatch them, and someone convinced me to, and I'm like, okay, this stuff isn't so bad. And I'm like, okay, I publicly admit I rewatched them. I own a copy. Am I embarrassed? No. I mean, I just confessed I own them. Holy shiatsu, didn't realize the time. Gotta ring Jen. Totally didn't keep a mind on the time. Chat later, Kara. 'Twas fun. All right. Not sure when Marty checked out, but good night and thanks for stopping by. I really like that multiple persona concept. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely still going to pop in as myself here and there. I mean, there'll definitely be periods where it'll still be me. Like, originally, I had thought to myself that it would just be the persona from then on. And then I started to think, well, how am I going to bring myself back as my regular self? And I realized, well, I'm just overthinking it. I don't have to reintroduce myself. I'm me. Hello. So, but yeah, I mean, I really like that. And I mean, I use the personas in my digital photography as well. And once again, my digital art is on my Instagram. Not that I'm like constantly pushing stuff, but for those of you who follow my other creative stuff, that's the only reason I mention it, is you can keep track of those things there. And then like my day-to-day stuff is in the stories. So that's the only reason I mention it, is you have other ways of like keeping up with what I'm up to, what I'm doing. I mean, live stream is a good way of interacting as well, but you also have the Twitter option or the Instagram. So I mean, it's up to you guys, obviously, of course. See you, Marty. Um, the Fisher King went over my head the first time around, but on rewatch, there was so much I resonated with and made it a bit more meaningful watch. I haven't rewatched it in a long time. I just know I enjoyed it. The last time, I watched it was when Robin Williams passed away, um, which is, geez, what was that? A little over 4 years ago now. I'm not recalling. It's been a while. Um, yeah, it's been a good chunk of time. But yeah, I watched quite a bit of his movies. Like, he's the only celebrity death that's ever affected me. Like, I know people have always said, "Oh no, I can't believe, so and so's gone," and I never understood it until Robin Williams passed, and like that's the only person that ever affected me. Like, I instantly went to Google and I'm like, "You're kidding, right?" And I accidentally happened upon his death photo. Like, I didn't intentionally look for that, and I'm like, I did not need to see that. Um, but yeah, I know I went morbid there. Sorry. But yeah, that was a really good movie. I watched a whole cluster of his films. But yeah, I mean, he was like one of those childhood actors. Like, he was well, for me, he was a he was a big chunk of like my growing up. Like, I watched a lot of his family films, or child orientated films that he had done. And then as I got older, I watched more of his dramatic roles. Um, so I think that's really why it hit, is I watched him throughout like my various stages of growing up. Is Delta 8 psychoactive? Like, yeah, it's a different strain. Like, it doesn't really have quite that same THC. Like, it's legal. So it's not like you're doing something that is illegal, but like, yeah, depending on your job, you will still test positive. So it just depends on like your line of work. So it's really more up to you if it's something that you want to try or get into. Let me see. There it is. But there's the information if anyone's interested in it. So yeah, for Delta 8 enthusiasts, there's the website, and there is the discount code. Oops, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is an absolute must watch. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I hear the name quite a bit. There's also, I believe, a Clint Eastwood comedy, any which way but loose, or I think I changed the title. Um, who is your favorite Spider-Man villain? Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus, Thomas Hayden Church as the Sandman, Topher Grace as Venom, or James Franco as the New Goblin? Um, I don't recall all of those films, but I would say I did enjoy Willem Dafoe. He is an excellent actor. He did carry off the Green Goblin well. I did like Doc Ock, Tom Hardy Venom. Yeah, I would go with Willem Dafoe, and I did like Doc Ock. Yeah, I think they were. I think they did make good villains. As far as the newer Spider-Man, I mean, I think we're talking about the older ones, the Tobey Maguire. If we're talking about newer Spider-Man, I'm not sure. I haven't. I mean, like, I saw Homecoming or whatever it was called, but I'm really not too familiar with the that newer Spider-Man universe. Little Nicky versus Sammy Kerr. Who? What do you think? I think Sammy would wipe the floor with Nicky. I don't think there's any competition in there. Nicky's just too nice. Yeah. I think Nikki is just way too nice. But yeah, I'll see if I can later go back and get a banner to for that anonymous questions link. If any of you guys are interested in playing along in that game, I do feature those on my Twitter and Instagram, and then I do want to create a vlog for those as well. Or if I can get my computer working again, then I would probably do another like live show for those, or do both. So we will see. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying these Ask Me Anything live streams, then we can see about doing another one. Beetlejuice versus Edward Scissorhands versus Sweeney Todd. What do you think? So is this a three-way match? Oh gosh. Beetlejuice versus Edward Scissorhands. I think Sweeney Todd would overall win. I think Edward would be the first one out. So I think at the end it would be between Beetlejuice and Sweeney Todd. Are you a Highlander fan? Yes, I love that first Highlander. The second one I kind of struggle. Like I love the backstory with Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert. But then when it skips to all the futuristic stuff, that's where they lose me. Oh, no. No, you did not say that. Sweeney Todd is so underrated. Burn him. Burn him now. Burn him at the stake. I'm not too big on musicals, but Sweeney Todd I thought was a solid watch. Same here. I'm not big on musicals, but I enjoy Sweeney Todd. Like, I give it a pass. Like, I'm not really a musicals person, but I like that one. And yeah, it's just one of those. I really enjoy it. Yeah, Highlander, the first one is the best one. Yeah, even the third one, it's kind of like, what is that? Um, that prostitute scene was that really necessary? But yeah, the first one is, I could totally throw out the rest of the films and just keep the first one. Yes, the theme song for both of them. What was it? Darn it. Who Could Live Forever, I think was one of them. And then I can't remember the name of the second one. And then in the Highlander TV show, they just overplayed both theme songs. And it's like, please stop. You're ruining two really great songs. But yeah, I love Queen. I think I mentioned it earlier. I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody last night. I want to get around to finishing that. But I don't like the way Freddie Mercury was played. I think he just, and I could be just my misinterpretation, but I think the way he was played in the film, he came off as extremely arrogant, and in my mind, that's not my Freddie. What are your thoughts on Jack Nicholson as a werewolf? As in Wolf, like I like the way that he was portrayed. It's more realistic. Plus, um, like he's this guy in this middle guy in the publishing world. He's just trying to keep his head above water, and just the whole metaphor of like he's being swallowed up by wolves. He had to. Sorry, Herschel, get down. He had to like develop his own fangs in order to just make it in this world where everybody is a wolf in sheep's skin. Um, it's definitely. I like the story. And then just eventually he embraces his own nature and he just wanders off and becomes a wolf. And, you know, it's to me, the story's a metaphor, but I really loved it. I need to check out Highlander. I like it. I love that film. It's not one of those I would watch on the daily. Like, it's a good one to pull off the shelf from time to time and revisit, but it's a good one. Are you talking about the movie Wolf Bronson with him? Wolf Bronson? With him and Michelle Pfeiffer? Yeah, he was in a film called Wolf. I think that's the one that we were talking about. I believe that's the only time Jack Nicholson played a wolf or a werewolf. I mean, I like how they wrapped in the wolf mythology and it was made more realistic. Like, it wasn't like the wolf man and, you know, all um, you know, like all werewolf, you know, like Universal Studios and stuff, like Werewolf Man. Okay, this one totally slips me. Hi, I'm Candy Kurgan. Of course you are. Herschel, get down. The puppy's climbing over the entertainment center now. He's a miniature beagle, but even for a miniature, he's a dwarf, and he still gets into everything. Yeah, I liked Wolf. I enjoy it. It's a good movie. Maybe a little too slow paced at times, but it's a good watch. Cool movie. I still don't get it. Yes, I was talking about Wolf. I have an interesting fact to share with you. I read on IMDb that Black Christmas from 1974 is Steve Martin's favorite horror movie. Oh, okay, no, I wouldn't have known that. Um, yeah, it's cool when people have favorite movies. I think I just received another plant delivery, so yeah, one of my other doggies is going off right now, so I think I just received another. Good boy. I think I just received another plant delivery. I ordered a replacement. I always mispronounce it. Cayenne pepper. My old one died on me. I'm trying to grow some peppers this year, so this would be my first time independently growing peppers. I have some sweetie peppers, which I propagated in February. I'm still waiting for them to take off, and I have one giant Marconi, and now the replacement cayennes, because the replacement cayennes, because the one that I had was doing fairly well. And then he was in an area where he just wasn't receiving enough sunlight. We've been getting quite a bit of rain lately, so I tucked everyone in under the overhang, and he was just telling me I need more sunlight, and yeah, he just gave out on me. Okay, I'll have to pick up my boxes later. My beagle wants to run out the door. Da-da-da-da. Clancy Brown is the Kurgan in Highlander. I'm probably mispronouncing that. You mentioned the hover scene. Her name was Candy. I haven't watched those movies since college. Probably, oh gosh, 2007? That was ages ago. My neighbor grows banana peppers a lot, so damn good too. Way better than store-bought. Yes, I agree. Homegrown is always better. Um, I wouldn't say that I'm an organic planter. I do use like plant food sticks to help them grow. So I think that counts as like non-organic because they don't grow naturally. I am debating getting some ladybugs to help keep like the leaf hoppers out of my garden. Yeah, I mean, I'm working 8 hours a day. I don't have time to come out and like do mint spray like twice a day. I mean, well, during my lunch hour, but I still have to walk the doggies and feed them. So, pension to my free time. But yeah, yeah, this would be my first year doing my own homegrown peppers. I love how big and bushy they grow. I mean, to me, that's the fun part. So if my cayennes make it, like I believe, not by the solstice, I forget by when I should have my first harvest. I would need to check my wheel of the year. That's the main reason I like the growing is I don't consider myself Wiccan, but I do follow the wheel of the year. And plant the plants help me keep in line with that. You know, I haven't seen that yet. Other than Jack and Jill, what is your least favorite Adam Sandler movie? Click. I didn't care for that one too much. Kate Beckinsale was probably the best part of that movie. Um, Early Adam Sandler, I'd say, was good. Like, well, I like not Happy Gilmore, Mr. Deeds. Um, I do like Mr. Deeds. That was supposed to be Winona Ryder's comeback. I don't think it really helped her too much, though. What's your favorite brand of hot sauce? Um, Actually, I think you just gave me a vlog idea. That'd be okay. What's it called? I call it the rooster chicken. I can never remember the name of it. Um, Hui Fong Foods, sriracha hot chili sauce. I love that. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Hui Fong Foods. It has um, or Tuong Ot Sriracha. It has a picture of a rooster on it. I'm not sure what the characters or the lettering are on the. It's some sort of an Asian lettering. I don't want to take a guess and accidentally offend someone. But I do love that stuff, which is why I just call it the rooster chicken. I can never remember the the name of it. Okay, going overboard. I love the opening credits and the song, but that's about it. I wasn't a fan of Click either, lol. Punch Drunk Love is my favorite Adam Sandler film, though. That's a good one. That's a good drama. Like, he really showed that he can act. Rain on Me is a good one. That's a post 9/11. Uncut Gems is also a really good one. It also shows, darn words always slip me these days, the Passover. It's a good depiction of the Passover for non-Jewish people. They're celebrating the Haggadah, the ceremony, which is something I've recently started studying. So I appreciate that I actually get to see it performed. So that tells me that the events in the film are going on in the month of April, which for most people that would be like Easter, for those of you who celebrate. What is your favorite Jim Carrey movie, and what is your favorite Tom Hanks movie? Jim Carrey. I like Liar Liar. What is the other one where he plays a gay man? Darn, I know the beginning is the name of the guy. Somebody I Love You. I can't switch to Google because I'm on mobile, and I think that's how I got that technical issue earlier. As I tried to Google something, so I found out the hard way. Don't do that. Stay, Herschel. Stay, Herschel. But yeah, I really enjoyed that also. Like Jim Carrey has done some very good dramatic work also. And is it, I don't know if that's the irony of it, that um, comedians are also very good dramatic actors, and nobody really takes that into consideration, that they also have a very good serious side about them. Like we just get so used to the idea of them being the funny guy, or, like or even comedians, that they can actually be, like the serious female, or however it is that they identify with, whatever gender or non-gender that they identify as. Let me see. Tom Hanks. I liked him in Castaway. What was it? The Road to Perdition. Let me see. Oh, I was thinking of his son Colin Hanks. He played a serial killer in a movie called Lucky. Where what would a serial killer do if they won the lotto? The lotto. Now that's a funny concept there. Yeah, it was a tongue-in-cheek comedy. I can't think of any other films. Like, what other drama roles has Tom Hanks done? I can't think of his dramatic ones. Like, I tried to give a balance. Sriracha sauce is really good. Yeah, there was a organic one that I had tried from Sprouts, and that one was like a little bit more sweety. It wasn't as spicy as that rooster chicken one that I had mentioned. Rooster chicken is all I can remember. I don't mean anything by it. It's just there's a rooster on the bottle, which is why I call it that. Okay, so my puppy pee pads were just delivered. Yay, puppy pee pads. Because apparently my puppy still decides he doesn't want to go in the designated area. He wants to go where he wants to go. I'm being told that is a possessive trait, that he wants to mark and claim ownership to things. And for somebody with such an easygoing attitude, that seems odd to me. Let's see. But yeah, it's really good sriracha sauce, even that organic one. I don't recall the brand of that organic one, but even organic sriracha is good. It doesn't bite as much, but it's also good. Yes, I love that one. I own a copy. Thank you. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's also a good one. Yes, Uncut Gems is great. I love that one. Yeah, I have a copy of that in my digital library. Sriracha. I've had that many times. There's a YouTube channel called Bus Invaders. when they visit bands on their tour bus for an interview and look at their fridges, they usually all have sriracha sauce. Oh, there you go. I'm opening my packages that were delivered. Sorry about all the noise. My favorite Tom Hanks movie is The Burbs. I've only seen that once. All I remember are Weirdo Neighbors. It kind of seems like a retelling of Rear Window. And then something about a thunderstorm and the mud in a backyard. But I don't remember too much about the story. Oh no! From the pots that I ordered, one arrived broken. That's fine, I only needed one, so I'll see if I can get the second one refunded. So, not a total loss. I can break up that porcelain and use it at the bottom of my pots, if you're familiar with that. People use like stones or broken pots at the bottom of new planters to keep the soil from clogging the exit ways, so that the water flow can exit more easily. So, planting tip or gardening tip. The birds is legendary. Yeah, I hear a lot of talk about it. It's just I've only ever seen it once, so I don't remember too much about it. Scooch over, kitty cat. I want to plant my bum. I love Orange County with Colin Hanks. Ah, yes. I've seen that one several times. The one with Jack Black. All I remember is Jack Black running around in his underwear. And I think the librarian did also. They set off a fire alarm or something. Yeah, that was a fun movie. I haven't thought of that one in years. Do you ever watch The Price is Right? If so, what is your favorite game? And also, what are your thoughts on Drew Carey hosting the show? I haven't watched The Price is Right since Bob Barker. I grew up watching that. I don't have cable. Everything I watch is streamed via Fire Stick. So that's how I watch stuff now. So I haven't gotten on Pluto to look for like updated episodes of The Price is Right. So I really don't know what the show is like now. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Yes, this one. Okay, so it's Vietnamese. Sriracha chili sauce. Yes, that's the one that I eat. I just do not know how to pronounce that. But that's the one that I like. That's my favorite sriracha, and it has a picture of a rooster on the bottle. But yes, to answer your question, no, I haven't seen the modern day Your Price is Right, so I don't know which games they play. Or other than Drew Carey, I don't know who the hosts are. So on that one, I would have to check in and watch an episode randomly. So, I mean, yeah, I would just really have to check in and watch an episode of that. Hello and good afternoon. Hello to you too. Thanks for stopping by. Slipknot says, hi, King. Whoops. You gonna jump on or off, puppy? You keep hitting my bladder each time. You staying on or off? Did you get a chance to watch any new horror films? Oh, and hi to Slipknot. Um, Recently, the only new ones that I've watched are, and it's been a few weeks, but the only new ones I've watched are Cocaine Bear, Megan Unrated, and Knock at the Door. But as far as like recent films, those are the new ones I've watched, and then everything else are just like Joe Bob. I watched Don't Panic from the last drive-in, and I watched The Devils recently. Yo, Kara, I thought you were talking to Jen. What happened? Oh, I need to see Renfield. I totally forgot to come out. It came out, sorry. I've been curious about that. I've heard there's mixed feelings on that. I like Nicolas Cage. And he really likes to play stuff up. So I would be curious to watch that. I forgot to see 65. I'm not sure about that one. I don't recall the story. Was The Devil's good? I've had that in my queue for years. I enjoyed it. I'm not really quite sure on like what the. I would have to go back and rewatch it. I mean, like, they lost me after a certain point. Like, I'm not sure what the symbolic beginning of the story was, like at what the beginning of the film was, because they start with a play about like some. They're watching a play about something that looks like a mermaid woman, and then they skip over to the church, and there's obviously a priest that's been sleeping with I forget if it's a nun or a prostitute. He later sleeps with a nun. Um, he gets her pregnant, he marries her, and then somewhere along the lines, a different nun in the church becomes possessed. Like, I don't know if it was just lack of me not paying attention or if the story was just all over the place. I mean, I would have to watch it all over again, but like the movie was wild. I loved it. I don't have time for a rewatch again, but I really liked it. Like the story was good. Um, I wouldn't say it was Hammer film quality, but it was a good movie. I'm not sure which studio put it out. I don't think it was Hammer. Um, I mean, it's one of those you have to watch it. It's hard for me to describe it right now. It's just even my thoughts about it are just as all over the place as the movie was. But yeah, I would say, yeah, wild. Sounds like a movie I should watch. Then I would say go for it. Sounds like a wicked story. Yeah, go for it. I would say definitely watch it. I was chatting to Jen, was thinking of having a chill stream tomorrow, say from an hour from now. But Jen's son just rang. He's in Texas with his grandpa at the moment. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's awesome. If we have a chill stream tomorrow, want to take part? 65 was okay, but a lot of animals were, what? Paleo and period inaccurate? Paleo and period inaccurate? I wouldn't have known that. It's not something I keep up with as far as periods and things like that. But yeah, that would be fun. Is that something that you guys are going to discuss? Is that something I would have to watch beforehand in order to be able to participate in the stream? Speaking of which, thanks for checking out Onibaba. You posted a good review of it as well. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed just sharing my silly thoughts about it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun watching that. It's one that I had always seen around and just never took the time to check out. So even just your synopsis is really what intrigued me. So thanks for finally getting me to watch it. Was the dinosaur CGI good? Oops. My guys are jumping all over to me today. I think that was a question for you, Marty. Was the dinosaur CGI good? And have you heard of the film Bloody Hell? It was a good horror comedy. 2010. No, I haven't heard of that one. It doesn't ring a bell. Like, was that like a direct to video, or was that an indie film? That one doesn't sound familiar at all. That movie has one of the most engaging scenes of dialogue I've seen from any film, when he's telling the two girls how the guy died in the war. For that 65 movie? Yeah, I'm so not familiar with the story for that one at all. Or do you mean the Bloody Hell one? Sorry, I'm getting mixed up now. No, pure chill stream. The 65 info was Slipknot. Yes and no Slipknot, because they made up some animals and mixed and matched species. They crossed a T-Rex with I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Posacherus? You guys are probably giggling at me. Two completely different. Onibaba, I meant, haha. Oh, okay, well, that probably makes better sense now. No, the movie was one of the most engaging scenes of dialogue I've seen from any film, when he's telling the two girls how the guy died in the war. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I got myself tangled up. Hee hee. Okay. But let me see. We've been streaming for about 2 hours, so I say that's about a good stopping point. I should probably feed my guys. They haven't eaten, and they need to be taken out also. So they've been super patient with me, other than jumping on my bladder, which they were probably trying to get my attention. Poor guys. That's probably what their jumping was about. But to everybody that stopped by the stream, as always, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you for stopping by. And yeah, I'd say thank you as always for stopping by. Let me see. When he goes into the hut in the middle of the night to tell them the lady's son died in the war. What's the worst injury accident you experienced, and what did you learn from it? That's okay. Kara, let me know tomorrow if you're free about this same time, boss. If I'm not, if my pots haven't arrived and I'm not working in the garden, I should be able to, but I'll check in with you for sure. Take care, Kara. Thanks for chatting with us. Absolutely, and thanks for all of you for stopping by. I always appreciate you loaning your time. I always enjoy these live streams just as much as you guys do. Cheers, Kara. All right, well, that is all I have for you guys for today. And as always, I will talk to you later.